have more people like Mr. Trodabo in Gambia, Gambia will be a better place. Everybody in society has a role to play.
Vision Development Foundation, under the leadership of Mr. Mamadou Trodabo, donated 10 brand new computers, 10 brand new latest computers to the Gambia College. And on top of that, he also gave $100,000 to the Gambia College.
ndax dama ne su ñu xamoon ñaari mel ni Modou Dabo rek Gambia dina jag.
So that most of the Gambians should emulate from him, that if everybody can do what he is doing, I don't think that we will have poor people in this world.
Gaya, nanan, sino ba yun? Ito yan.
Thank you very much. Actually imagine that we don't have. But I'm glad that we have those capable individuals in the Gambia College. At this very moment, I want to introduce to you, from the School of Nursing and Midwifery, Gambia College, please welcome Mariam Toure. See how the point begins. Mariam Toure, welcome.
Kramina. I wrote my poem, but I couldn't actually cram it. But here it goes. I hope you love it. In 2017, I wrote a poem entitled "My Generation Philanthropist, Who Are You?" And in 2020, I have a new poem entitled "When I Was a Mountain, God Loves Me." I hope you like it. When I was a mountain, God loves me. See, God loves me, for I love who I am. No, that's a mistake. When I was a mountain, God loves me. See, God loves me, for I love who I am. Little did I know that leaders could not only be born but can be made. For proper ones do we need, and corrupt ones must we weed. Out of my mind I kept thinking, if actions were the talking, then our tears would have tried. I had endless dreams, but to deaf ears was I turned as it gradually sinks. My hopes in life were considered useless. Time flies as my dreams come ahead. Peace fading as corruption was more than goodness. And somehow they around me never cared about my heart desires as it gradually sinks. When all this happened, salt started rolling down my cheeks, for I was weak enough to create my dreams again. When all this happened, I screamed to the smiling coast so that someone can come and rescue me. Now listen to my own story. I am a young African child who lives in the finger of West Africa from the smiling coast of Africa. I was born in the year 1978 without a mother or a father, but I was blessed with 4 children. See, I told you earlier that God loves me. God loves me for I love who I am. With all the pains and sorrows that happened in my life. For all the times I fell flat on the ground. For the countless times I ran out of my mind, all that I wanted was the smiling coast to smile with intellectuals. I was rescued by giving a mountain with a caregiver, a health risk preventer, a food producer, and of course a knowledge giver. With this, I was overwhelmed that my mountain will produce exemplary people to better develop my motherland. But to the givers, that was all enough even without feeding my mountain. Little did I know that it needs maintenance quite often and pay the ones that feed my children with knowledge each year that passes. Whenever I pass schools and hospitals, I see my children doing a great work for the betterment of my motherland. But who cared for them? I began to realize that there is no nation in the world that can develop without what's in my mountain. A caregiver, a health risk preventer, a food producer, and of course the knowledge giver. More often I have more children and I end up being filled to capacity. My mountain was never renovated. My mountain workers were never paid to satisfaction as they grumble. My children struggled each day that passes to get to the mountain, for transportation was never accessible. Every morning I walked down my mountain to get water and sanitation, for it was never available. But little did I know that I was the least priority. And at the end I became the oldest mountain in my motherland. And my children are found every corner of my land, serving young potential leaders, but sidelined, for I was all alone. Then I kept crying in pain, for I needed a better living for my family, a help that would suit my desires. As years passes with struggles, it was in the dark night and all I could see was a glowing face bringing smiles in the world. See, I earlier told you that God loves me. I earlier told you that God loves me for I love who I am. His cloudless smiles makes me look up to him, ready to produce more caregivers, food, producers, health, risk preventers, and of course knowledge givers. See, then I began to once again grow and glow in bright, for my hopes and dreams were once coming back to me. And then I realized that when I was young, I was told the strength can only be possessed by man. But as I grew older, I realized that strength was nothing but the ability to afford bringing people's dreams to reality. See, when I was young, I thought that if you ever needed help, you will find one at the end of your arm. But as I grew older, I realized that you have 2 hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping others. When I was young, I thought that giving away only subtracts your earnings. But as I grew older, I realized that only by giving you can able to receive more than you actually have. See, I earlier told you that. God loves me. God loves me for I love who I am. Then I began to twist my hand and my mind to get a consent cause. Telling him to do more was a headache, and running away from him was a heartache. And now today I have the opportunity to tell him how I felt about him. Mr. Momodu Trodabo and the Vision Development Foundation, you overwhelmed my children, and now I have the confidence to say, keep it up and more do we expect. The nurses beginning to smile, the teachers begin to break chalks, the agriculturists sharpen tools, the public health officers with their weapons stood firm to prevent sicknesses. As we have more hope of immense help, I end by saying, the lives you changed, the unity you are creating, words can thank you, but will always say, God will reward you. See, when I was the mountain, I was named the Gambia College, and my 4 children are the 4 sister schools. Thank you.
Wow. This lady keeps on surprising me. But today I'm not surprised. I know she can and she will always do. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause again for Mariam Turi from the School of Nursing and Midwifery. The only point I know from nursing, that is a joke. Wow. Your point taught me something very powerful, Mariam. Everybody has 2 hands. One is for yourself and the other is for helping others. That I would not forget, that I will use, that would make me remember that young lady called Mariam Turi. Mariam Turi, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this very moment, we gathered here today, we have the purpose of the event. We heard from the Honorable principal of the Gambia College, but permit me to introduce to you the head of the student body for the Gambia College, the head of the Four Sister Schools Union. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to invite to you the president of the Gambia College Students Union, representing the entire Gambia College, to come and speak on the challenges that the students are facing in the school. Your co-executives converged. They met purposely to address challenges that are concerning the students. And in addressing that challenge, the head of that entire committee is Her Excellency, Madam Sidibe. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome and also I present to you Madam Sidibe. A round of applause.
Development Foundation, the principal of the Gambia College, vice principal, heads of our noble sister schools, honorable executives, fellow students and media personalities present here. Good afternoon to you all. Today I stand to give this speech alone, but with the concern of many. The Gambia College is one of the oldest institutions in the Gambia and undoubtedly the country's factory of intellectuals in nursing, public health, agriculture, and education. Challenges that cripple students learning in such an institution is in fact a national concern that needs mitigation. It gladdens me to know that the noble organization of Vision Development Foundation and her CEO has dedicated and committed their attention to addressing our concerns. Honorable guests, permit me in my capacity as the President of Students' Union to portray our major concerns. First of all, the students lack a union house. When we talk about the union house, this is the absence of a house that all students can come together as one. The absence of this house has resulted to students' inability to keep records for their individual schools. Student assets and records are difficult to maintain. Due to lack of office to secure our office items, printing machines, among others, another concern is the security of our students. The nightfall leaves students with no choice but to go out and search for food outside the campus in an isolated dark street outside the school campus. The security of the students has become a concern, which has its causative factors as lack of a union house to operate students' cafeteria. A union house also comprises of a student sick bay that is geared towards providing health services to general student body. An effective sick bay is a guarantor to the general well-being of their health. There exist episodes of health-related emergencies where students are faced with traveling to hospitals, a duration of which their life is exposed to serious threat. This also remains a concern as an effect of whose causative factor is the absence of a union complex to house an effective and equipped sick bay. The Gambia College has in its capacity to enroll more than 12,000 students every year. Demands for its program, as its program increases every year to this number of students. These students lack an effective common room to socialize with peers, promote a relaxed mind before their lectures. As a result, students are seen scattering during the classroom, scattering classroom chairs outside to sit and socialize with peers and to wait for lectures. The effect of which has to lead to scarcity of classroom chairs, to scramble for classroom chairs to attend lectures during lecture periods. The student union house has already started laying blocks for the union house with complete blueprint and budget at hand. I support in establishing this house will be a legacy for the VDF. Another alarming concern is scholarships. As we all know, the Gambia College is no more free. The college was the hope of the poor, brilliant students who couldn't afford university and other private institutions. This hope died with the new dispensation requiring students
to pay their tuition fees for their entire course duration. This has made it difficult for hundreds of students to afford as scholarship opportunities are scarce for the institution. As a result, it has made many students to lose hope in furthering their program because of financial instability. The Students' Union continues crying foul for scholarship opportunities in the quest for mitigating this challenge. Provision of scholarship for needy students shall help them successfully complete their programs and serve our motherland, the Gambia. The poor water supply in this college is also a challenge that needs remedy. Lack of enough water supply is a major concern to the students of the Gambia College. Water is a basic need for every human being, and the shortage of such a need affects the learning environment. The college relies on NEREC to provide this water. Many a times the supply from NEREC is poor and students are left with no choice but to go outside and buy water. The whole dormitory of the Brikama campus depends on a single tap for all their domestic uses. Should this tap experience any shortage, which is usually experienced, the occupants of the dormitory stay without water to bath, drink, and even laundry. This has become an alarming concern as it has led to serious poor sanitary conditions of our bathrooms and toilets. The bathrooms, likewise the toilets, have become a pollutant to the environment as a result of proper water supply. The diseases related to these conditions expose students at risk of acquiring them. It also serves as an accommodation for mosquitoes, endangering the health of students to diseases like malaria. Another challenge, perhaps one of the most important, is the issue of hunger. It is difficult for students to focus in learning when they are experiencing the painful effects of hunger. The Gambia College Dormitory on Brikama campus currently accommodates more than 100 students, likewise the Banjul campus. These students are responsible for providing their own feeding during the course of their program. It is quite difficult on the students as they struggle to pay tuition fees. Union dues provide food for themselves. This has crippled our education as the cognitive effects of this thought affects our learning abilities. If education is the key to fighting hunger, then accessibility of food is a catalyst to achieving that goal. In the absence of food and water, learning is difficult and quite difficult, if not impossible. Affordability of food is therefore a big challenge to the students of the country's factory of intellectuals in health, agriculture, public health, and education. Honorary guests, another important challenge is the transportation services in the Gambia College. Transportation has long been a students' challenge in the Gambia College. The dormitory cannot accommodate the entire student body, and as a result, such more than 10,000 students are left with the options of traveling every day. This has been a concern more so for the female students who are at risk of assault while they stand to high hitch, in bracket, begging for leave, on the highway till nightfall. Students come to class late because of accessibility to vehicle, and this has been parasite though on both the administration and the students' union. And so therefore, if the students can have buses that will promote effective teaching and learning while minimizing cost and risk of insecurity through hitchhiking, in bracket, begging for leave, this will promote students' learning and cognitive knowledge. Lastly is the inability of students to put the union farm into use. I don't know how many of you are aware, but the union has a farm which could be effectively utilized. The students' union farm is the greatest asset through which the main union can generate income. Over the past years, our predecessors have not been putting it to use because of lack of water supply and security. Water is needed for essential growth of crops and other plants. This farm has no water supply, and this has made it nearly impossible to cultivate crops or put it into any use. Another unfortunate concern is the lack of security. The farm is open to access by all. This makes it difficult to conduct commercial farming as may steal or damage crops or plants. This has become a major concern as it may help to generate income for the welfare of the students. Should this farm have fencing and access to water, it will definitely serve as a source of income for the union to address concerns of the general student body. While we remain optimistic on your support to our challenges, on behalf of the entire student body, I thank you for your generosity. May God bless your family.
Provider and assistant to our needs. Today we will celebrate you not because we want you, but to tell you who you are. Iko jatamuta jatola, jatole koya fele wale Momodu Turo Dabo.
For him, our hero, Mr. Dabo Maimiro, see, our chief philanthropy is setting a legacy which is a reality. His activity, simplicity, and nobility made me call him our honorary father. For today, I shall thank the man for serving as an armor between we and hunger, serving as a savior between us and pain. He saved the needy and helped the poor.
For he is the man who believes in giving back to his society, the man who helps when the need arises, the man who the Gambia College will forever be proud of. So today we shall write poetry, today we shall sing for him, today we shall dance for him because he is a great man. Thank you, Dabo, for words can never be enough to express our gratitude.
The MC of the occasion, distinguished invited guests, Vice Principal and Head of School of Public Health and other senior staff and staff of the Gambia College, the student executive, the student body, I say Assalamu alaikum to you all. Today I'm more than happy to stand before our patrons, the honorary father of the Gambia College, represented ably by his top officials here present. The justification for my being elated is that we've started benefiting even before his arrival. A little over a year ago, we went to visit him at his place. Little did we know that we were going to get anything, but we were supposed to just pay a taxi call. And on that day, he gave us a check of 100,000. And since that time, he has put us in his agenda. Few days ago, they came into my office and we were just talking about today's event and what we want. Part of it was the acute water shortage that we've been facing as a result of the erratic supply from Narek. And borehole was one of what we requested, that we would love if he can consider giving us a borehole. Less than 24 hours, I got a knock at my office, and the gentleman came and said, "We are here." I said, "For what?" He said, "We discussed about the borehole yesterday, so we've come to dog it." And that shows how business-oriented some people could be. Because for others, it will take ages before a decision is made. But the Vision Development Foundation, they have a vision, and their vision is to change the narratives. They want to put smiles on the faces of those that are suffering. And within 2 days, the borehole is done. only know and would not want to preempt what the next step is, but I know it is going to be a gigantic step. Because if in the introduction we get water oozing at that amount, what will happen when we actually begin the work proper? So Mr. Fofana, Mr. Dabo, Mr. Nyasi, Yalo, Madam Sarah, Madam Low, and the rest of the delegation, please extend our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to Mr. Dabo. We appreciate the magnanimity, and we, as a Gambia College community, both students and staff, are very much grateful. And we look forward to collaborating with you and your foundation. As far as all of us are concerned, we are committed to that. I am not supposed to make long speeches. I was asked to talk about nationalists and their role in development. But today I am not going to talk about that much, because we've lost valuable time and they are busy people. Everybody wants to see them. So we'll spare that time. But if there is anybody that we can call a nationalist who has contributed immensely to the development of this country, it is Mohamed Dabo and his Vision Foundation. Because a nationalist is somebody that defends his nation. It depends on what we call a nation. In some areas, a nation could be a tribe. For us in the Gambia, our nation is the Gambia, because we have different tribes comprising of what we call the Gambia. So for us, the tribe takes a backstage as far as nationhood is concerned. And we are proud as Gambians to be associated with such a philanthropist whose contribution is even beyond the Gambia. So I was just proposed to make the opening remarks. And with this, I hope Allah the Almighty will guide us through the process so that all the dreams that we have is realized. So I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you.